While you're in prayer, please be in prayer that Jesus will be eye concealer, eye covering, a filter, if you will, for my face, because the crying that I did during this episode that I was not expecting. Hello, and welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you my take on each contestant. I will share my feedback on their voice and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, I will keep it 100 with my feedback and critiques of each contestant's vocal and overall performance. But what I am not here to do is come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. While I might come off just a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, I will do my best to speak my truth with love, kindness, and respect. And with that, welcome to the final night of the playoffs, NBC's The Voice Season 26. And what a night it was. First, let me address the elephant in the room. My wonderful co-host James is not here again. He's still dealing with his back issues, hoping to have that all straightened out so he can join us on Monday for the lives. So please send him all of the best vibes, the best wishes, all your prayers that his back will heal up and he'll be able to join us on Monday. Y'all, while you're in prayer, please be in prayer that Jesus will be eye concealer, eye covering, a filter, if you will, for my face, because the crying that I did during this episode that I was not expecting. I hope that the powers that be on this here internet is doing what it needs to do for my face, because, oh my goodness, I was not expecting to cry as much as I did tonight. It was an incredible episode, and you'll learn later in the episode when I was really crying, which if you watch the episode, you probably know. But what you didn't know is if you are one of our Patreons, you might be able to see me crying. All right, so let's get started with our episode. First up for the night, we had Shye. And let me just first say, we are with Team Bublé tonight, and his guest mentor was Carly Pearce, who did an amazing job. So again, we are starting out with Shye, and Shye sang Story of My Life by One Direction. First thing is I love the arrangement to the song. I thought that it lent to the storyteller vibe that I feel like Shye has when she sings. Her voice is just rich and warm and deep. It's like an ocean. It's like this really vast ocean when she opens up her throat. I thought that the key for the song was perfect in that it gave us those rich low tones during the verses, but then in the chorus, because the melody goes to a higher range, you really got to hear her voice just really soar in the most beautiful way. There were a couple moments, more than a couple, where I was just like, come on, Choice, where she would do like these unexpected runs and ornamentations that were just absolutely brilliant for this song. And speaking of performance, I felt like she upped her performance quality. She was making eye contact with the people in the audience. She was looking at the cameras. Like it really felt like there was an emphasis on being more, just being more natural on the stage and connecting with the audience. And I saw it and I felt it. Shye, do you write? Because you sing in these songs that you have not written like they're your own. I can only imagine what you would do to a song that you actually wrote from your own, either from your own experience or that you wrote. from someone else's experience. You are rare. You are a rare talent. There was at the end of the performance, there was like a quiet chorus that she did that almost broke me. The way she sang it almost broke me. Um, yeah, this whole performance was just come on choice with the instrumentation along with her vocal, and it was absolutely brilliant. So well done, Shye. Our next artist was our leak for today. It was Jaukeem Fortson, and he sang Man in the Mirror by the Michael Jackson. I thought that this was a really great song choice by Michael Bublé because we all know that Jaukeem has been singing a lot of like inspirational songs, if not just flat out like Christian or gospel songs. And I really thought that this was a great song choice because it's still very inspirational without being like outright Christian song. Um, I thought that they gave him a great note, a great performance note in the rehearsal about like not giving everything physically in the performance right away, kind of keeping his body quiet for the first little bit of the song and then fully unleashing towards the middle and back end of the song. And I thought that he executed that brilliantly. Um, anytime any artist starts a song with a hum and they execute that hum, I'm like, okay, I already know what I'm going to get from this performance. And I was like, come on, hum. And then I was like, come on, choice, because Jaukeem, the maturity and the knowledge of music that you have really impressed me tonight. Because what you did with the song is you did not stick to the melody in the best way. Because if you would have stuck to the melody in the verse, you would have been singing low a lot. And that would have not given us the full impact of your voice until we got to the chorus, which is a little while. It would have taken a little while to get there. So the come on choices that you were making to manipulate the melody to show off your voice, I was like, ain't no way this young man is 14. To have a sense of musicality to that degree, I was like, are you serious? This is what he's really doing at 14? Like, it's one thing to be able to sing. It's another thing to be able to manipulate a melody to make a key work for you. It was absolutely stunning. Um, you better come on and give us growl. I was like, you better give us growl. And then when he said change, I was like, okay, you just saved everybody in the studio audience. Like, y'all better make that change. He had Michael Bublé doing a cute little two-step. I was like, he had his little arms out, and I was like, yes, Michael Bublé. I felt like Jaukeem he did catch the Holy Ghost a little bit, and Snoop alluded to as much because he was preaching at the back end of that song. I was like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Um, the the very end of that song where he said, "I'm going to make a change." The way Reba reacted is how I reacted because I was like, you are going to make a change. You are going to change this world. Young people like you is what gives me hope for our future because you are going to change the world, young sir. And I've just so appreciated watching you on this season of The Voice. Well done. Well done. So next up was Sloane Simon, and she was given the song Good Luck Babe by Chappelle Roan. Now, this is when I decided, you know what, for my Patreons, during the playoffs, I haven't done a watch with me for my Patreons where I will record myself just like I am here, but you can see this, you can see the performance. I'm watching the performance on my device as I'm recording live so that the Patreons can see my real-time reaction. And so the timing just worked out. Let me sit here and do that during the third performance. So let me talk about the performance first. And if you want to see me watching this performance from Sloane, go ahead and sign up for us on Patreon. You can find it on our IG page. You can find it in the show notes below. Sloane has the ultimate pop female voice. It is angelic, it is light, it is airy, but it has depth. Her performance quality on a stage is perfection. Stage is home. She is one of the most natural performers of the season. She knows what to do with her face. She knows what to do with her hands. She knows what to do with her body. She uses her whole body to communicate the song as well as her voice. There's not many that do it better this season than Sloane. It is so captivating to watch her perform. But then you have this vocal that matches the angelic light pop, but has some depth to it as well. Persona. I swear that her voice sounds like it's mixed in the studio. She sounds like she has a pre-mixed voice. And I'm not saying that to say that they have done some editing, as these performances that we're seeing now are not live. I'm not saying that they did anything to her voice. I'm saying that her voice live probably sounds like it did when we're watching. It sounds like it has this pre-mixed, filtered, really cool quality to it. But I'm quite sure that's how her voice sounds live. It's stunning. She sounds like a 2025 version of, the name is escaping me. But they sang the song Kiss Me, Kiss Me, back in the 90s or early 2000s. She has that quality of voice. If I can remember, I'll put it right down here who I'm talking about. Sixpence None the Richer. That is the band name. I forget what the female lead singer was. And there's just such a confidence to Sloane's vocal that not only to her vocal, just her presence on stage. That's why I say stage is home, because she just looks completely natural, completely in control, completely in command, completely confident on that stage. The reason why I was in tears by the end of this performance is because during the rehearsal and throughout Sloane's time on the show, we knew that her father was dealing with cancer. I believe it's cancer. And during the rehearsal portion of this performance, she said that her father did not have much time left. And by the time we got to the actual performance, we learned that Sloane's father had passed away the Sunday prior to the filming of that actual performance. Sloane, we just send you and your family all the prayers, all the love, all the strength. You did your father proud in this performance and in the way that you've carried yourself on this show this season. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We are so sorry for your loss. But I'm so glad that you were able to honor your father in this way by your presence on the show, you as a person, but also being able to share the gift that you have with America. So thank you so much for that. Next up, we had Cameron Wright. Cameron sang Exhale, Shoop Shoop by Whitney Houston. I've never heard the song done like this before. And I thought that it was brilliant. When the BGVs were seated and then you see Cameron seated, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to like this. It was a more acoustic-y, stripped down version of this song. every time I hear Cameron, I hear Tevin Campbell in the quality and the timbre of their voice. Um, this whole performance was come on choice. It was just come on choice. And it was such a controlled performance. It was so simplistic, but it was so beautiful and so captivating. There is a lot of space where Cameron could have chose to just run all over the song, but I thought that it was so interesting, so mature, so elite, as Michael Bublé said, so just telling of the kind of artist that they are, number one, but also telling of the respect that they have for not only the song, but the artist who originated it to attempt the song in the way that they did. I just thought that it was brilliant. The super duper long falsetto note at the end, I've never seen that on this show ever. Nobody's ever done anything like that. And it was stunning to the point where Gwen was just like you still holding that note. It reminds me of the song Lovely Day, where it's just a lovely day. And then the note just goes on forever. That's what it reminded me of. It was like an homage to that song in a way. And I thought that it was stunning. I thought this was a PhD level performance, just in the restraint, in the choices. And anytime you do Whitney and you execute, again this song in a way that I've never heard before in my life. Well done. Well done. So last for this evening, we had Sofronio Vasquez, and he sang Crying by Roy Orbison. I've never heard this song before in my life. Never, ever. And I was just like, what is this? Michael Bublé, what is this? As I've said prior, and I'll continue to say, Sofronio can sing anything. This performance was absolute perfection. This was stunning. Stunning. I love the arrangement of the song because it freshened the song up. It didn't sound old. Sofronio could release this song tomorrow and it would be on the top of the charts. That's what the arrangement did for it, and that's what his vocal did for it. It did not sound like an old song. Sofronio has control over his voice like almost like none other on this season. And I say that, not saying that other people don't have control, but the Sofronio can run a song down. And it is so easy to lose control when you run as much as Sofronio does, but he never loses control. Never. And he is also a master communicator of a song. He can emote a song with his presence, with his vocal, with his just the overall performance. No one. Sloane is the only one that comes close to being able to communicate and emote a song the way like Sofronio does. There's just such power in his voice, but there's also vulnerability. There's also tenderness. There is holleration, and what I was not expecting was the snappage at the end of the song. There was snappage. To the point where Michael Bublé literally had his mouth open, like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing and hearing. And I felt the same way. I was like, I cannot believe the notes that are coming out of this man's throat. I cannot believe the sounds, the acoustics, the heavens opened up. Like, I cannot believe what is happening right now. And it was unexpected because I don't know this song. So for Sofronio to make me feel the way that I felt at the end of this song, not knowing it, to be able to communicate a song so that I could connect to the story and to him in this performance, bravo, sir, because that does not come easily for me. So incredible, incredible performance. So now we have the results. I think that Bublé and Snoop probably had the most difficult of choices, in my opinion. I didn't know what Bublé was going to do. I don't know that he could have made a wrong choice, to be honest with you, because every single person on this team did an outstanding job. The first person to move forward was Sofronio. I would have been very shocked if Sofronio had not made it through, based on not only the vocal that Sofronio gave, but Michael gave him a song that he absolutely loved, and Sofronio murdered it. If that don't put you through to the lives, I don't know what does. And so I was very happy and very unsurprised to hear that Sofronio was moving forward. But then you have 4 people left, and it was just like, oh my God, what's he going to do? There's really not a bad choice. I'm not going to be mad at anybody that he puts through. Michael Bublé decided that Shye would be his second person on his team moving forward to the lives. And I have to say, this made me really happy. And it made me really happy for a couple reasons. Number one, because Shye is just like this understated, really humble, ridiculously talented young lady. And what Michael Bublé said to her was, people need to hear your voice. And I was like, bingo, that's it. People need to hear your voice. I love the heart of how I think Michael made his choice. He really felt like Shye just flat out deserves to be in lives, but she deserves it, and because she will really benefit from this platform of having a national audience continue to hear her and be able to hear her live. So that is how it shook out. So unfortunately, Jaukeem and Sloane and Cameron are headed home. Friends, when we return back to you on Monday or Tuesday, I guess when the episode releases, or Wednesday when the episode releases, we will be entering into the live shows. I believe there will only be 2 weeks of live shows. We only have a top 8. So top 8 will probably be cut to a top 4 or a top 3. I don't really know, but I'm guessing we're only going to get 2 weeks. I'd be very surprised if it's more than that. So anyway, I'm really excited to jump into lives and see what these folks have in store for us, and see how they perform under the live lights. And I'm really interested to see what America's going to do as well, as far as who they're going to vote for. And I guess a lot of that has to do with how the performances go. But I'm excited, and I hope my buddy James will be back, because as much as I love talking to you all, I like talking to him even more. So, but thank you all for hanging with me. Let me let you know what I need to let you know if you don't know. And if you don't know, now you'll know. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. Also, check us out on YouTube. Search for The Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more. And last, make sure you join us on Patreon. It is not too late. I know that the season is winding down, but we still have great content just for our Patreon's members. And we will continue to have content for our patrons even while the voice is on a break. So make sure, if you would like to join us, you can find information about it in our Patreon highlight on our IG page, or you can find the link in our Linktree link on our IG bio, or you can always go down to the show notes and find information there. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with me this week. We will see you next week for the lives of season 26 of NBC's The Voice. And hopefully my partner will be back with me. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.